Kau, Baraka, Baraka, Baraka. Ehaya, Yahawah, Ehaya. Elohim, Elohaya, Elian, Olam, Shaddaya, Dana, Zabal, Ehaya, Yahawah, Ehaya, Anaka, Eya, Alel. For in the mercy of thy tabernacle shall we worship thee towards the holy temple and fill. For this is Elijah's house. Abracadabra. Albanawa. Rafa. 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 For I create what I speak. Hear us, our Father, who art in heaven, and hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, and thy will be in the earth as it is in thy heavens. May thou bless us this day with our daily bread. Will thee forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. May thou lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine not thy kingdom, thy power, and thy glory forevermore. Bahashim Binah. Bahashim Yahshua. Elohim, Elohaya, Elian Olam, be Kosida, 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 merciful unto us, and Barak, 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 bless us, and cause his face to shine upon us, Silah, that thy way may be known upon the earth, thy saving help among all nations. Let thy people, Barak, 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 Halau, 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 yadai, yadai, yadai. Praise thee, O Elohim, Elohaya, Elian Olam. Let all people, Barak, 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 halau, 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 yadai, yadai, yadai. Praise thee, O let the nations be glad and sing for joy. For thou shalt judge the people righteously and govern the nations upon earth. Selah, let the people, Barak, 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 halau, 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 yadai, yadai, yadai. Praise thee, O Elohim, Elohaya, Elian Olam. Let all the people, Barak, 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 halau, 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 yadai, 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 praise thee. Then shall the earth yield her increase. And Elohim, Elohaya, Elian Olam, even our own Yah, shall Barak, 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 bless us, Barakadaya, Barakadaya, Barakadaya. Elohim, Elohaya, Elian Olam, shall Barak, 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 bless us, Baraka, 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 and all the ends of the earth shall fear him. Bahashim Kodashua Shikana Shimata Shikana Bahashim Rafa Rafa Rafa. Cow, 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 halau, halau, halau. Barakadaya, Barakadaya, Barakadaya. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Tawadaya, Tawadaya, Tawadaya. Cow, 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 Koba, Koba, Koba. Ehaya, Yahawah, Ehaya. Elohim, Elohaya, Elian, Olam. Shaddaya, Dana, Zabal, Ehaya, Yahawah, Ehaya. Anaka, Eya, Alef.
Shalom, 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 barakadah, barakadah, peace and blessings. All right, I come to you today and trying to show you the mystique, the magic, the mystery of this book, and how the things on earth, these things that's around you, may save your life. Many of us, we can't afford health care, can't afford medicines. Neither do you want to take the medicine, because if you take the medicine for one thing, it's going to give you an ailment, and another thing was going to cause you to take another medicine, and it's going to do the same thing as the first medicine. So you're defeating the purpose of even taking the medicine. But this right here, hopefully, it should open your eyes to the truth on what the word can do for you. The word is a healer. It is our healer. It was given to us so that in our struggle, we will be able to have health and life, which upon this earth is actually heaven. So hold up, let me get it right, I'm a living testament to what this word can do for you. I'm a walking miracle in the flesh. Being that I fell off a building 25 feet, ended up in the wheelchair, and I'm blessed today to be walking and to be telling you my testimony. Exodus 15 and 26. And said, if thou would diligently hearken to the voice of the YAHAWAH, thy Elohim, Elohayah, Elian Olem, and will do that which is right in his sight, and will give ear to his commandments, and keep all his statutes, and I will put none of these diseases upon you, which in I have brought upon the Egyptians. For I am the Yahawah, thy Rapha, healeth thee. Rapha, the word for Rapha, this word means heal. It's also closely associated with the word Refa. Ecclesiasticus 38 in verse 4. The Yahawah has created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them, will not hate them. You won't turn to Percocets, you won't turn to Zambars, you won't turn to none of these poisons that they trying to give to us, because you're not knowing what they make them out of. You don't really know what that is. So I'm going to give you an instance of what a medicine out the earth can do. Isaiah 38 and 21. Well, now hold up before I move on. All right, this word, Rapha, healer. Reefer. We know that marijuana has many medical benefits, as it is an ailment for epilepsy, those with chronic pain, as myself. But this is not your only health. This is not going to cure you. This is a pain reliever. This is your cure. Isaiah 38:21. Many people out there get bars, get bars upon their body, big abscesses, hard to cure. Sometimes you can even push the little gunk out of it and it still don't come out. But this is how you can cure it. Isaiah 38:21. It's for anybody that gets an abscess, a big abscess or a ball. This is a way to cure it without medicines, but with power of prayer and scripture. For Isaiah has said, let them take a lump of figs and lay it for a plaster upon the ball, and he shall recover. Hezekiah also has said, what is the sign that I shall go up to the house of the YAHAWAH? He took a fig, laid it upon the ball, abscess. It cured it. As myself, I had done this too. A lot of these things I have tried on myself before I come upon y'all to do it in faith, so I don't lead you astray like many of the pastors have over hundreds of years that we've been in this country. But who knew that you can go to the store and get some fig Newtons, crush it up, and lay it on you? He wasn't the only witness to testify this. 2 Kings 20 and verse 2 Kings 20:7. It was also testified in the Old Testament. Well, it's both of them in the Old Testament book. 20:7. Isaiah spoke upon it, and it was also spoken upon Isaiah in 2 Kings. Say, in the days was Hezekiah sick unto death, and the prophet Isaiah, the son of Amos, came to him and said unto him, thus says the YAHAWAH, set thy house in order, for thou shalt die, and not kaya live. Then he turned his face to the wall and prayed unto the YAHAWAH, saying, see the power in the prayer? It's power in prayer. As in the prayer, I'll teach you how to pray Rapha in Hebrew with English. But I beseech thee, O YAHAWAH, remember, Zakah, remember now how I have walked before thee in emit truth with a perfect heart, and have done that which is Tobah, good in thy sight. And Hezekiah wept sore, and it came to pass, as for Isaiah was gone out into the middle court, that the word, word of the YAHAWAH came to him, saying, turn again, and tell Hezekiah the captain of thy people, thus says the YAHAWAH, thy Elohim, Elian Olam of David, David, thy Alba, father, Anaka, I have heard thy prayer. Anaka, I have seen thy tears. Behold, Anaka, I will Rapha, heal thee. On the third day thou shalt go up unto the house of the YAHAWAH. And Anaka, I will add unto thy days 15 years. And Anaka, I will deliver thee and this city out of the hand of the king of Assyria. And Anaka, I will defend this city for my own sake and for my servant David's sake. And Anakah and Isaiah took a lump of figs, and they took and laid it on the boil, and he recovered. There's still a chance up until your last dying day for grace, to pray for grace, and to believe that he can heal you. That you believe the words in Deuteronomy 32 and 39. See now that Anakah Ea Aleph I, even Anakah Ea Aleph I, am he. There is no God with me. Anakah Ea Aleph I kill, and Anakah Ea Aleph I make Kaya 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 alive. Anakah Ea Aleph I wound, and Anakah Ea Aleph I heal. Neither is there any can deliver out of my hand. I'm living testament to this. He wounds. He wounds. Living testament. But here's my testament. When I came out of surgery, I believed in his word. I began to rub my legs, saying over and over again, Rapha, 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 Rapha. I kept doing it, kept doing it, kept doing it. I kept doing it till I felt this burning in my legs. And it felt like hands was inside my legs. But what I felt on the inside, I felt my bones getting put back together. Even though they had put them back together, I felt him healing my bones. I trusted in his word. That when I got put in that wheelchair, I didn't go through no rehab. He rehabbed me right on out the wheelchair. The day I stood up and thought I could walk, a voice woke me up out of my sleep and told me, Jeremiah, stand up and walk. And I doubted it at first, but the voice was strong the second time. So I did what it asked me to do, and I got up and I walked. And today, I walk on water, because the Torah is likened unto water. This is just one instance of somebody being cured. But there's common things around you, like one such as pesky as the housefly, how you wouldn't believe the miracle that it will perform for you. The Legends of the Jews, Volume 1, From Creation to Jacob. The Creation of the World, Chapter 1. All things praise the Yahawah. Whenever Elohim, Elohayah, Elian Olam created, whatever Elohim, Elohayah, Elian Olam, Elohayah created has value. Even the animals and the insects that seem useless and noxious at first sight have a vocation to fulfill. The small trailing a moist streak after the snail trailing a moist streak after as it crawls. So using up its vitality serves as a remedy for boils. The slimy stuff off the snail. This is also a remedy for boils and abscesses. Miracle. Medicines out the earth. The sting of a hornet, a bee, or a wasp, they are both the same. Is Rapha, 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 healed by the horsefly, crushed and applied to the wound. I have done this 3 times to 2 adults and a child, and it instantly cures the sting. No pain at all, none whatsoever, instantly. Hence to why I collect them, just in case that day come. They end up in the window, I collect them. I just don't throw them away because I know what they do. They may seem weird to you, but I know it works. The faith of a mustard seed, that's about the size of a weed seed. You know how small that is. That's all you need. The sting of a hornet is Rapha, 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 killed by the horsefly, crushed and applied to the wound. The gat, I like the gnat, feeble creature, taking in food but never secreting it, is a specific against the poison of a viper. Yeah, something as little as a gnat is a cure for the poison of a viper. A snake bite. Miracle. It's funny how people shun what they don't understand. And this venomous reptile itself cures eruptions. Yeah, lesions. People like AIDS patients who get lesions and stuff like that, shingles and all that type of stuff. Eruptions, chicken pox, smallpox, herpes, all that type of shit. Yeah, eruptions. It cures all that. It would have cured us during the Tuskegee experiment when everybody caught syphilis. And I'm going to get to why that happened and why this vaccination happened to these people in this country for what they did to us. Yeah, it's a punishment. As they injected us with syphilis, now they get injected with something that can't help them. Yeah, vengeance is for the YAHAWAH Lord. Thought you were going to fuck with niggas, they were going to get away with it. Nah. The gat, feeble creature taking in food but never secreting it, is a specific against the poison of a viper. And this venomous reptile itself cures eruptions, while the lizard is the antidote to the scorpion. The lizard is the antidote to the scorpion. So be mindful if you knew some of this stuff. When we get sick, because we don't understand that their way is not our way. We was made from the earth. So whatever we needed to help ourselves, to heal ourselves, to keep ourselves alive, it's in the earth. This is your life. Understand that. As she gives you oxygen to breathe, you can't see oxygen, but you believe that's keeping you alive. You can't see God, but you don't believe that He can keep you alive, or He can heal you. He can really heal. I got a bigger testimony than just my legs, but I'm just gonna keep it at that. Keep the mystique and the intrigue in the atmosphere. The Legends of the Jews, Volume 1, From the Creation to Jacob, Adam. Chapter 2, Man and the World. And as Anaka Eya Aleph, I shall breathe the breath of life into the nostrils of man, oxygen or his spirit. It's not oxygen, it's his spirit, them your ancestors. You might want to start listening to what they're saying, because they didn't die for nothing. These people dying, they died, gave their life up to keep some of us alive, hoping that they would hear his voice and save their people out of the sin, which is the way of our oppressors, like celebrating Christmas, a pagan holiday, Saturnalia, the worship of the planet Saturn, the winter solstice. You celebrating that it's cold outside. You actually celebrating that it's cold outside. You know how many people outside right now? Technically, my house feel like outside. And you celebrating the cold. Are you all snuggled up under your central? So y'all just like, fuck the word. Take it in vain. It ain't real. Oh, it's real. And as a Naka, Eya Aleph, I shall breathe the breath of Kaya, life, into the nostrils of man. This is why they got you covering your face up, talking about COVID-19. He breathes his breath through the nostrils. If you got your face covered up, what breath is you breathing? Alright? So, Anaka Eya Aleph, I will do for Yasharallah, Israel, niggas, Negroes and Indians, however you want to call us, just call me a child of God. Anaka Eya Aleph, I will give the Torah unto him, the tree of life. The tree of life. Yeah, look at all this fruit on this tree. That's fruit. You can get healed from fruit on a tree when the boar presents itself on your tree, which is you. How beautiful is that? A fig. So maybe if you just eat figs all the time, you just won't never get no boar. But because of our ignorance, he told us in Deuteronomy. What other book you gonna read that's gonna give you such knowledge and wisdom, such as this one? I don't think you're going to. It said in Deuteronomy, behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the YAHAWAH, my Elohim, Elian commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whether thou goest possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your knowledge in the sight of the nations, which shall Shema, hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. How wise is it to understand how to cure somebody, to help them out of agony, pain, and distress, or just to save their life from expiring? This is the true calling in life. That's the calling in life. It's to save a soul, save a life. Be somebody's salvation in their pain and their agony, even if you going through the same. A lot of people say, what would Jesus do? Salvation would save someone else and not just himself. But Deuteronomy 28, there was blessings and there was curses given to us. And sickness was one of them because we would be a rebellious children, hard-headed. Though you grown, you're still rebellious because you don't listen to your father. But you got the nerve to try to tell your kids something. You can't tell them nothing because you run around like a child just like them. Saying Deuteronomy 28:1, and it shall come to pass, if ye shall hearken diligently unto the voice of the YAHAWAH, thy Elohim, Elion Olem, to observe to do all his commandments, which in Nakar, Aleph, I command thee this day, that the YAHAWAH, thy Elohim, Elion Olem, will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. 28:15, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the YAHAWAH, thy Elohim, Elion Olem, to observe to do all his commandments, and his statutes which Nakar, Aleph, I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. 28:58. If thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this Barata law that are written in this book, that thou mayest fear the glorious and fearful name, name of the YAHAWAH, thy Elohim, Elion Olem, then the YAHAWAH will make thy plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed, even great plagues, and of long contentions, and of sore sickness, and of long contentions. This will be cancer. This will be all these things associated with like that. Cancer, AIDS, like all that right there. Yeah. Also, every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, which is COVID-19, them will they YAHAWAH bring upon thee until thou be destroyed. And ye shall be left few in number, whereas ye were as the stars of heaven for multitude, because thou wouldest not obey the voice of the YAHAWAH, thy Elohim, Elion Olem. Because we don't obey, we die. What up?
Well, it's good.
See, because we don't obey, we die. It's just simple and plain. We got kills, but we believe that the other stuff helping us, so it kills us. It's a way of life that you have to live to keep you alive, and make sure that he know that you love him by keeping his commandments. John 14:15. It was also written, according to the whole of creation was conditional. Yah said to the things he made on the first, 6 days, if Israel accepts the Torah, you will continue and endure. Otherwise, I shall turn everything back into chaos. We was living good. But if you notice, things are starting to get chaotic in our community. Why? Because we lacking spiritual guidance. We lacking discipline, understanding, knowledge, and wisdom. Why everybody like to go fishing If you're a fisherman, you're outdoorsman.
All right, Uncle Jay, I'm going. See you later.
All right, see you later too. Say if you're an outdoorsman, you're a fisherman. Don't discard the scraps of your fish, the legal fish anyway. There's ones with scales and fins on them, not catfish. But there's something inside of them that will kill a blind man and help him to see again. He said, Tobit, this is in the book of the Apocrypha, it's in the missing books. One of the 14 missing books that's not in the original Bible. Well, in the Bible that you got now, the original is this one. Tobit, chapter 2, verse 10. And I know not that there were sparrows in the wall, and my eyes being opened, the sparrows muted warm dung into my eyes, and a whiteness came in my eyes. And I went to the physicians, but they helped me not. Moreover, Charis did nourish me until I went into Elemias. This is how he was healed. Chapter 5, Tobit chapter 6 and 3. Then the angel said unto him, take a fish. And the young man laid hold of the fish and drew it to land. To whom the angel said, open the fish and take the heart and the liver and the gall and put them up safely. So the young man did as the angel commanded him. And when they had roasted the fish, they did eat it. Then they both went on their way till they drew near to Ecbatana. Then the young man said to the angel, brother Azarias, to what use is the heart and the liver and the gall of the fish? And he said unto him, touching the heart and the liver, if a devil or a evil spirit trouble any, he must take a smoke thereof before the man or the woman, and the party shall be no more vexed. This is how you really ward off a devil, a demon. You take the heart and the gall of the fish and you burn it. The demon will smell it and it will flee. Be mindful now, because they roaming. They is roaming. They lurking. Look at me. They out there. They amongst you. Open your eyes of your mind. Get out your flesh and get in your spirit. For you have no more flesh to keep your spirit. He said unto him, touching the heart and the liver, if a devil or an evil spirit trouble any, we must make a smoke thereof before the man or the woman, and the party shall be no more vexed. For the gall, it is Tobiah, good to anoint a man that has whiteness in his eyes, and he shall be Rapha, 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 healed of his blindness, cataracts, glaucoma, the gall of a fish. This is why you should honor the earth. You should want to treat it with care, not throw your paper on the ground, not piss in the rivers, throwing your stuff in the creeks, in the canals, which wash into the rivers, which wash into the oceans, in the seas, the ponds. Now wise up. We killing our own self. The earth is made for us. We was made from it. He got the whole world in his hands. He got the whole world in his hands. We got the whole world in our hands. What you gonna do when the ball in your court? Last name Wilson, first name Spalding. Better ball with that bitch. It's for anybody like the troubles they had in Flint, Michigan with the water. This right here could have helped these people who was lacking help to get water. The Legends of the Jews, Volume 3, from the Exodus to the death of Moses. Chapter 1, the Alpha Desert. The ways of the Kadash, 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 Anaka, Eya, Aleph, Holy One, Barak, 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 blessed be He. Differ from the ways of man. Man turns bitter to sweet by agency of some sweet stuff, like bitter Kool-Aid. You put sugar in it to make it sweet. You need an agency. You need some kind of agent. But He's a miracle worker. The ways of the Kadash, 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 Anaka, Eya, Aleph, Holy One, Barak, 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 blessed be He, differ from the ways of man. Man turns bitter to sweet by the efficiency of some sweet stuff. But Yah transformed the bitter water through the bitter laurel tree. Bitter water could be made sweet by what we know as bay leaves. There's 3 distinct laurel trees that's inside the bay leaf that makes up what they do for bay leaves for seasoning and food. But they come from a laurel tree. There's 13 laurel trees that are for us. It's written in Enoch in chapter 1. Yeah, chapter 1. So Yah transformed the bitter water through the bitter laurel leaf. That would be bay leaves or any kind of laurel tree like a magnolia tree or something like that. When Yasharal beheld this miracle, they asked forgiveness of their heavenly Father and said, "Oh, YAHAWAH of the world, we sinned against thee when we murmured about the water, not through this miracle alone. However, as Mara became a sufficient spot for Yasharal, but especially because there Yah gave Yasharal important precepts like the Sabbath rest, which is right now, as we speak with each other. The Sabbath, the day of rest. Remember the Sabbath to keep it holy. Deuteronomy chapter 5. He gave us the Sabbath for rest. Because there, Yah gave to Yahshua important precepts like the Sabbath, rest, marriage, and civil laws. And to the people, if you will observe these statutes, you will receive many more. The 10 Commandments, the Halakat, and the Haggadah, the Torah, however, will bring you happiness and kaya, life. If you will diligently endeavor to walk through life uprightly so that you will be victorious in your dealings with men, I will value it as if you had fulfilled all commandments. It's 614 commandments. You fulfill the 10 in the holidays that he wants us to keep. It's as if we kept all 614. So you ain't got a chance to put your fringes on like it's written in Numbers or something like that. You won't be held accountable for it. Because that's a commandment too. We got dress codes, all that. Diligent. Fulfill all the commandments, and will put upon you none of those diseases that I brought Egypt. If, however, you will be visited by disease, then I will be your physician and will make you well. He will be our physician and make us well, not the hospital. Not the hospital, because I'm here to tell you, all that medicine they put a nigga on, it still didn't help the pain. It didn't start hurting until I started taking the medicine. I'm out in the hospital on regular drugs, street drugs. They in there trying to kill you. You ever been in a 4-day medical coma? Body coma? You coherent to everything going on around you, but you can't move. You can hear everything, but you can't move. All right? If, however, you will be visited by disease, then will I be your physician and will make you well. For as soon as you will observe the laws, shall the disease vanish. So as soon as you observe these laws and these commandments, your disease will vanish. Abracadabra. Tawadaya. I create what I speak. Thank you. It's as simple and plain as that. That's the magic. Yep. You want the superpowers, there you go. You are a healer. Rapha. Psalms 119. Psalms 119 is the whole chapter is the Hebrew alphabet. See these letters? Like Sa, Na, this is Ma, Fa, A, Ta, Ka, you would spell Rapha. Rapha is Ra, Ah. No, my bad. Second letter is Phi. Phi, Ra, Phi. Ah. And you will read it as this when you pray. If you want healing. The water in your body. You make yourself a bell. A bell. If you stretch out your arms, if you come from right here, you will feel this energy resonating through your body. But you have to ferment prayer. You have to really say it and believe it. Say Rapha, Rapha, Rapha. Consider my affliction and Ra'ah, 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 deliver me for Nakah, Ayah, Aleph, I do not forget the Brata, 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 Torah, 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 Emitah, Emitah, Emitah. Lord, plead my cause and Ra'ah, 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 deliver me, cooking me according to that Divar, 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 Marah, 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 word, Yeshua, 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 salvation is far from the wicked, for they seek that thy statutes greater thy Kanai, 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 Kusida, Kusida, Kusida. Tender mercies, O YAHAWAH, YAHAWAH, Lord, quicken me according to thy judgments, meaning all my persecutors and my enemies. Yet do Nakah, Ayah, Aleph, I not decline from thy testimonies, Nakah, Ayah, Aleph, I beheld the transgression and was grieved, because they kept not the Divar, 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 Marah, 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 word, consider Nakah, Ayah, Aleph, Ahava, Ahava, Ahava. I love thy precepts. Quicken me, O YAHAWAH, 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 according to the loving kindness, thy Divar, 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 Marah, Marah, Marah. Word is emit, 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 truth from the beginning, and every one of thy righteous judgments endure forever. Thy testimonies are wonderful. Therefore doeth my Hayah. Soul, keep them the interests of thy Divar, 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 Marah, Marah, Marah. Words giveth Ara, Ara, Ara. Light, it giveth understanding unto the simple. Anakah, Ayah, Aleph, I opened my mouth and panted. For Anakah, Ayah, Aleph, I have longed for thy commandments. Look thou upon me, and be Kosida, 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 merciful unto me, as thou used to do us unto those that Ahava, love thy Shem, thy name, order my steps in thy Divar, 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 Marah, 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 word, and let not any iniquity have dominion over me. Ra'ah, 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 deliver me from the oppression of man. So Nakah, Ayah, Aleph, I keep thy precepts. Make thy face to shine upon thy servant and teach me thy statutes. Rivers of waters run down my eyes because they keep not thy divar, thy brata, 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 Torah, 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 emitah, emitah, emitah. Barak, Barak, Barak. Blessed art thou, blessed are the undefiled in the way. Barakadayah, Barakadayah, Barakadayah. Who walk in the Barata, 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 Torah, 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 Emitah, 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 Lord, YAHAWAH, YAHAWAH, YAHAWAH. Lord, Barak, Barak, Barak. Blessed are they that keep his testimony, the Barakadayah, 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 and that seek him with the whole heart. They also do no iniquity. They walk in his ways, thou hast commanded us to keep thy precepts diligently. Oh, that my ways were directed to keep thy statutes. Didn't shall Nakah, Ayah, Aleph, I not be ashamed. Nakah, Ayah, Aleph, I have respect to all thy commandments. Nakah, Ayah, Aleph, I will Barak, 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 Halal, 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 Yadai, Yadai, Yadai. Praise thee with an uprightness of heart. Barakadayah, 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 Hallelujah, 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 Tawadayah, Tawadayah. When Nakah, Ayah, Aleph, I shall have learned thy righteous judgments. Nakah, Ayah, Aleph, I will keep thy statutes. Oh, forsake me not utterly. Bahashim, Rafa, Rafa, Rafa. There you have it. Our Yah is a healer. He is a God of knowledge, a God of wisdom, a God of understanding. That's what this is. Now what that is, life, kaya, kaya, kaya. If you will have life, do as he say. Keep his commandments. And I close out with this, Deuteronomy 32. No, Deuteronomy 30. If thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Yahweh, Deuteronomy 30 and 10, if thou wilt hearken unto the voice of the Yahweh, thy Elohim, Elian Olem, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which are written in the book of this law, not religion, book of law, a judgment. It will help you to judge between the good and the bad. That are which are written in this book of the Torah, law. And if thou turn unto the Yahweh, thy Elohim, Elian Olem, Lord thy God, with all thy heart and with all thy haya, soul, for this commandment which is Nakah, Eya, Aleph, I command thee this day, is not hidden from thee, neither is it far off. It is not in heaven, that thou shouldest say, who shall go up for us to heaven, and bring it unto us, that we may Shema, hear it, and do it. Neither is it beyond the sea, that thou shouldest say, who shall go over the sea for us, and bring it unto us, that we may Shema, hear it, and do it. But the divar, murah, word is very near unto thee, in thy mouth and in thy heart, that thou mayest do it. See, Anakah, Eya, Aleph, I have set before you this day, Kaya, Toba, life and good, death and evil. And that Anakah, Eya, Aleph, I command thee this day to Ahava, love the YAHAWAH, thy Elohim, Elian Olem, to walk in all his ways and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments, that thou mayest kaya, live and multiply. And the YAHAWAH, thy Elohim, Elian Olem, shall Barak, bless thee in the land whither thou goest to possess it. But if thy heart turn away, so that thou wilt not Shema hear, but shalt be drawn away and worship other gods and serve them, they don't tell you what to do. Them ain't your gods. The doctor can't tell you nothing. This your God. This word. Anakah, Eya, Aleph, I denounce unto you this day that ye shall surely perish, and that ye shall not prolong your days upon the land whither thou passes over Jordan to go to possess it. Anakah, Eya, Aleph, I call heaven and earth to record this day against you. That Anakah, Eya, Aleph, I have set before you Kaya, life and death, Barak, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose Kaya, life, that both thou and thy seed may Kaya, that thou mayest Ahava, love the Yahweh, thy Elohim, Elian Olem, Lord thy God, and that thou mayest Shema, obey his voice, and that thou mayest cleave unto him. For he is thy Kaya, life, and the length of thy days, that thou mayest dwell in the land which the Yahweh swore unto your fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give them. If you would have your seed survive, teach them life. Teach them life. Give them rest from the evils out there, that they may go through life in peace. And if any weapon formed against you, it shall not prosper. Weapons shall be formed, but they shall not prosper. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I advise you, look up to the stars. The only light is the light of the righteous. For they are a shining light. They like the stars of the sky. Righteous. This is righteous judgment. With that, Rapha, Rapha, Rapha. Let the wise be healed.